Right, so I'm back in the world of Fallout 4, back on Tales from the Commonwealth, the questline where we explore various tales in and around the Commonwealth. So yeah, last time around we did a very hardcore race to this red rocket right here. Then a bunch of super mutants showed up and things exploded. I shot a bunch of super mutants. They were really rude because they kept interrupting me, and I heard the same thing about 3 times in a row, so that was quite annoying. But anyways, the point of today is that today we are finally doing the last tale from the Commonwealth. The end is finally there. So for that, we're going to be going to Good Neighbor, the 3rd rail, and we're going to be speaking to Audrey, and that should be the last tale. I have no idea what it includes, but I guess we're going to find out. Now, somebody was very rude and placed a bunch of shit in my apartment, so now I can't really enter. So that whole housing situation is really complicated. I'm not sure where I live anymore. I guess at this point it's probably Sanctuary. Although, I gotta say those cramped airplane seats, you can't really sleep too comfortably in them, so I really gotta find a new place to live. It's a very complicated process, getting evicted every week. Man.
How wonderful. Someone new. Is it true you're from one of those vaults? I met a few of your kind once before back in DC. Charming people. Badly dressed, but charming all the same.
I mean, I think I dress very fashionably.
You don't like these clothes? Seriously?
Well, I wouldn't be caught dead in them. But lucky for you, I hear you're quite good at staying alive.
Yes, do you want something?
How'd you end up here?
I'm here on business. A man thinks I'm better off dead. I beg to differ. Right now, he's waiting for me in some dusty hideout with a full staff of gunners. I hope to match him gun for goon.
Nah, that sounds like something I can do.
Anything I can do to help?
Yes, there is. Perhaps you'd be interested in being my personal goon. Or gun, if you prefer. And in exchange, I will be yours. It doesn't matter who plays what role first. Just say the word and I'm right behind you.
I mean, I already got like 8 companions at this point. I'm pretty sure I'm good when it comes to backup here. Tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself. What's your story?
Oh, you don't want to ask that question, darling. When a woman's lived for over 200 years, they've been a great many people. I've been an heiress, a salvager, a mercenary, and a fool. I feel it's far better to be the latter of the 4. It makes it easier to relate to the common man.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Our enemies are as good as dead, darling.
Take Audrey to the meetup. Yeah, I got way too many companions now.
As part of the deal, Barnaby and I will both carry holotapes with our half of the combination. Technically for him, it's his last will and testament, since he's leaving everything to me.
I mean, I'm really not sure what she's on about, because I think I dress very fashionably. I mean, I got these stylish design glasses right here, some Radaway, amongst various other trucks that I don't know the name of, but yeah, each week just I try and find the most beautiful outfit out there. It's really a time-consuming process here, also very expensive. I don't have a lot of money left. No, man, it looks like somebody already did my job for me here.
We should be careful. Family reunions in my house tend to start with bullets and end with blood. Of course, in between there's arguments, dancing, and champagne. To be honest, I'm not sure which is more.
Okay. Why is there sins right here?
Well, let's see. It appears this isn't Barnaby at all. In fact, it's my older brother Arthur. Hard to be sure, given he's a ghoul, but I can tell by the eyes. They're incredibly pretentious. We should search the body for a holotape. The letter said the combination would be on that.
Well, if you're listening to this, Audrey, then I'm dead.
Yeah, let's just make
You're
sure.
wondering to look up Barnaby's number.
I mean, we don't want you turning into a feral.
Let's just call it magic. After all, I know how much you hate comic books, and mysteries even more so. How annoyed you must be is a small consolation. As for the inheritance, I'm nothing if a man of my word. My number is 14, and Barnaby's is 82. As far as I know, you already have Antoinette's and Margaret's. I won't ask how you got them. I know Antoinette was always going to be the first to die, and Margaret perished the day she tried to put her brain into that machine. For all her intelligence, it boggles the mind how stupid she could be. Either way, congratulations. You've won. Perhaps it would have been easier if we just shared the world like Father intended, instead of trying to outlive each other through various means. In the end, we outlive society itself. I take comfort knowing you'll be stuck forever in this awful, decrepit place.
Alright.
Hey,
Drink this. You look a little parched.
Okay, I'm not sure what you gave me, but okay, what's up? Anyway, so yeah, we got a bunch of codes because you're trying to inherit a thing. I could use some details here.
hey there.
So, that's why he insisted on holotapes. Even in death, Arthur found a way to get the last word. I loved that about him, as much as I despised everything else. But I am sad that he's gone. He was family, after all. Which means the infection I suffered in D.C. has yet to subside.
The what now?
What do we do now?
One thing we won't do is give up. If Arthur's dead, that means someone killed him, and that person had to have a motive. Granted, that list might be infinite, so it's best we start at the top.
Yeah, I guess what are you on about with that infection thing?
Maybe you should find a doctor.
I'm afraid modern medicine can't cure the disease of caring. Well, either that or the stim packs I've been using are defective. But I'm long past the days when I saw it as a sin. In any case, we need to find out who killed him and why.
Alright.
What do you think happened to him?
If I had to venture a guess, I'd say this is Margaret's work. You can tell by the lasers and dead robots. And if Margaret's really alive, perhaps you'll want to work together. My sister would know this, of course. See if you can't find another clue somewhere. Hopefully with an address and directions.
Now, you know, that would be very convenient. Almost too convenient. Alright, we're looking around for an address. That is a bottle cap right there. A battered clipboard and a pack of cigarettes. This could be a clue, Ringo. This could be a clue. I'm not quite sure yet.
Hey,
Yes, my dear.
Yeah, I have no idea what we're looking for. I couldn't find it either. I did find his, like, pack of cigarettes, but I'm not sure that really tells us much of anything. Also, I think Ellen is developing a twitch. Very peculiar.
any words of wisdom?
We're nothing more than sleepwalkers, you and I. Dreaming through the apocalypse. Let's hope no one remembered to set the alarm.
Yeah, you're really no help. What was that, Ringo? You're telling me there's a very suspicious photo right there? Why, thank you. Right, we found a suspicious photo. I'm not sure what type of photo it is, because I can't see it. But it's there.
Hey,
You've got my undivided attention.
Oh, good.
I found this old photo.
Ah, I know the place in the picture. A pre-war cafe for dilettantes and socialites, and a post-war nightclub for hustlers and scavs. Old enough to feel safe, but new enough to be dangerous. That's my sister for you. One step ahead with 2 left feet. Well, we shouldn't keep her waiting. Let's go.
You know, it sounds like you guys had some differences between, you know, your siblings. Sounds like you guys didn't really get along too well. Alright, guys, be very quiet. I don't think they've seen us yet.
What's that?
Nothing. Alright, let me get out my shotgun. Just stand still. I should probably... There's a lot of super mutants. I missed a suicide or two. Okay, maybe this is more than I bargained for. Because that nuke is gonna be extremely dangerous. You know, ever since the incidents, the nukes in the Commonwealth have gotten sort of like an upgrade. Just the ever so slightest upgrade. But despite appearances, I'm actually fine. Because I have my sunglasses on. Alright. Oh shit. I'm just gonna run this way. This is just a slight upgrade, but if you pack your sunglasses, you should really be fine. It's just the radiation that kills you now. And there we go. Alright, okay, things are getting a tiny bit hairy around there, so let me just get some formidable cover here. While my subordinates deal with the situation. You know, despite everything, they are good as cannon fodder. Except Ringo. I appreciate his companionship. Right, what are we shooting at? That guy right there. Whoa-ly! I guess we're not shooting at him anymore. Man, I swear to God, these nukes are lethal.
And so here you are. This bar was a nice choice. Maudlin, but nice all the same.
You'd be amazed how little this neighborhood has changed. The bombs may have dropped, but the dirt is still here.
And you were never one to avoid getting your hands dirty. In fact, you're looking much better than Arthur these days.
Looking's not as good as having, honey.
It never is. I suppose the question is whether you want it all for yourself, or if you want to do this together.
I do, actually.
Then it's time you dropped this ruse. After all, you're far too nice to pass for my sister.
What? Is it a ruse?
On the other hand, with that disgruntled look, as if the world were too small and you had to slouch to fit inside it. That I recognize.
You're as perceptive as ever, Audrey. And still a huge bitch.
Takes one to know one. Is this a new body? Well, new in the relative sense. I wasn't aware synths came in vintage models.
Why do you think I chose it? It helps sell the illusion. Not that I needed it. Arthur would never deign to make eye contact with the help.
So, you've been working for him?
Naturally. I let him collect the combination, then waited for my opportunity to take it. After all, our brother would never agree to working together. He'd call it surrendering to Father's idealistic garbage.
He also wouldn't trust either of us not to kill him.
That too. In fact,
Man, it says that you guys
I
got
believe
some
his
real
favorite
issues.
saying was, "That isn't water under the bridge."
You guys should really
Yes,
talk it
I
out.
imagine it was something much thicker. And he was right, as it turns out. So, why not do the same to me?
Because I've always liked you, Audrey. I couldn't stand to be around you, but that's not the same thing. And best of all, I know working together would piss our brother off to no end.
All right. But if we're going to work together, my friend here is coming along. He's quite capable.
Still don't trust me, do you? All right, fine. Your friend can come. The two of you can meet me at the old
My
summer
pet flamingo
estate.
come too?
It's time to find out once and for all what legacy Father left us.
Yes, my dear.
I don't know, to me it sounds like you guys came from a freaking messed up family. Your father definitely made a mistake. You know, what's with all your siblings trying to murder each other for some type of legacy? You don't even know what type of legacy it is. I mean, it could be a freaking cupcake for all we know.
Clearly, you were so impressed with my wit, I've left you completely speechless.
Opinions differ, but sure. Let's get to know each other over a cup of coffee.
It would be nice to know more about you.
Sure, why not? I haven't traveled with anyone since I left DC, so it's nice to have someone to confide in.
So, what's it like being a walking piece of beef jerky?
What's it like? You know, being a ghoul?
Well, that mostly depends on what kind of human you were. If you were vain, I imagine it would be full of self-loathing. Me, I'm incredibly vain.
Okay. What's DC like these days?
What were you doing in the capital wasteland?
I was looking for my brother Barnaby. That's where he ostensibly died. On the way, I met a few people in blue jumpsuits. One of them saved my life. The other gave it meaning. But that's a story for another time.
She's reminding me a lot of this other guy that tells stories. Anyways, I guess that's it.
That's all for now.
Of course, my dear.
And I'd say let's go hunt down his treasure. It's probably gonna be really disappointing. Also, I'm wondering as to how you guys got the Sin technology. Well, I guess in the Tales from the Commonwealth world, Sins already existed before the war, or something along those lines. I guess that's probably it.
What? Got it?
Good job, Ringo. Good job. I don't think you're doing too hot right there, man. You should really
Hey there.
get that head checked out. Anyways, let's go see about this treasure.
Here we are, the old summer home. It's just as tacky as I remember it.
Who cares? The terminal for the code's on the wall there. My number's 47.
All right, I'll enter the full code now. What is it you think we'll find, anyway?
I don't know. Gold, jewels, baseball cards. Could be anything. The old man was secretive.
We must have had different fathers. The one I remember would go out of his way to tell you about his exploits.
Only when he was drunk.
That should do it. Shall we?
Man, I so feel like I'm gonna get backstabbed here that I should probably backstab them before they backstab me. You watch my back, Ringo.
Congratulations on entering the safe room. Your father would have been very pleased you managed to make it this far. Of course, there's no guarantee the five of you work together, and as such, further proof is needed.
You can't be serious.
As you'll note, there are 5 rooms in this house, each with a self-contained test designed specifically for the 5 of you. Pass them all, and you will unlock the main safe.
Except there's only 2 of us here.
Don't bother. It's a recording. It's a miracle this piece of scrap even functions after all this time.
Now go forth, sirs and madams, and reap the rewards that can only come from working together.
So, the entire house is a safe. I assume cracking our puzzles will be easy. The rest will take some ingenuity. We'll have to act like our siblings. Or even worse, think like them.
I'll leave that to you and your friend. You were always mocking everyone's mannerisms. Perhaps that might pay off here.
Well, I assume the kitchen will be Barnaby's. He was a fine chef. God only knows why he chose to have his servants cook for him instead. Arthur's test will likely be the stage room. He always enjoyed good play. Antoinette's, I assume, will be in her bedroom. Something violent, I presume.
Mine likely involves some sort of robotics or science experiment, so I'll head over to the lab. We can meet up when we're done.
What is it, my dear?
Alright. And this reward better be worth it. And the trouble I have to go through.
Test 1. Baking. Barnaby, if you would please make Father's favorite meal.
Ah, I believe that would be
Squirrel meat chunks? Man, I thought you guys were rich. Right, 1 potato, 1 tomato, 1 diced carrot, blood leaf, squirrel meat chunks, and 4 cups of water. Nah, man. I never thought I had to cook in this video game.
squirrel stew. It's a joke, really. Barnaby called Father a squirrely man and cooked it for him without ever telling him the contents. I never really knew if Father liked the stew or not, or if he knew what Barnaby was up to. I suppose in the end he didn't care. He just wanted to spend time with his son. But enough sentiment. The recipe should be here somewhere. Some ingredients might no longer exist, as well as some measurements. So we can't be sure the Wasteland recipe is the same.
You know,
The original
I
recipe
could get
might
used to
have included
this.
tomatoes and potatoes. A hybrid of that would work. but half a potato and half a tomato aren't one of either.
So will we take 2? Is that what you're saying? I mean, that sounds like science to me right there. What else do we need? We need some squirrel bits. Is there any squirrel bits around here? I'm not sure. Hey, look at this, guys. This is Children of Adam armor right here. Yeah, I'm really not sure where in my 5 million emails this recipe is, so I think we're just gonna have to wing it here. Oh shit, was there water in there? Right, 1 bottle of water. Well, we're supposed to be adding a diced carrot. Nothing about beans in there. I mean, 2 potatoes does make sense, but I guess we'll use some perception here, because why not? We should probably add some squirrel. Squirrel. It's a really difficult word to pronounce, but we're going to be adding that.
No, that doesn't seem to be right. Hopefully, the Mr. Handy hasn't noticed we made the wrong stew.
Okay. Are we supposed to toss in the AA batteries? I mean, it doesn't seem right, but then again, this is a very odd family right here. I'd assume that in a squirrel stew, you're supposed to be adding squirrel, but roaches aren't particularly appetizing, so we'll go with Salisbury steak, I guess. It said 1 cup of water. I mean, the bottle is a tiny bit more than a cup, but that doesn't mean we add more water, so I'm slightly confused here.
If I'm not mistaken, I think 1 cup is 8 ounces, and there's 16 ounces in every bottle of water.
So what is that in metric? I really don't know. Is it 2? Man, apparently it's 2. When in doubt, just add 2.
Congratulations, Barnaby. You passed your portion of the test. Please proceed to the next phase.
Arthur's test. The show starts when you step on the stage. All right. So, what will this test be? I'd assume it'd be the bar, something from that time period.
For this test, you will need to perform the play, The Silver Shroud.
Of course. It would have to be a comic book. Arthur memorized them all because he knew it would bother me to no end. Unfortunately, I'll need you to read the lines, darling. I couldn't possibly do it justice. Don't worry. If you get stuck, just spout out the most incomprehensible nonsense you can think of, and you'll be fine.
Please proceed to the next phase. Please proceed to the next phase. Please proceed to the next phase.
Hey there.
What do you want, stranger? Can't you see I'm busy selling drugs to kids?
Well, this sounds like what the Silver Shroud would say.
Peddling poison to kids, are we? You have taken your last life, villain.
I don't think so. I can poison as many children as I want and no one can stop me. Because in Boston, the mob owns the police.
Your crimes have gone unpunished for too long. But today, you face the Silver Shroud.
Ah, the Dark Dick himself. I thought you'd be taller. And if you think someone as short as yourself can stop me, then you're as foolish as the human who designed that getup.
It is not wise to stand between the Silver Shroud and righteous justice.
Ah, but there's another thing standing between you and justice. This helpless child, Timmy. And if you want to punish me, you'll have to kill him to do it. For I've taken him hostage.
I mean, I can do that. There's sort of been like a few Raider kids I've had to shoot anyway, so I've sort of gotten over that feeling of child murder. So, yeah. Deal with this later.
You shield yourself behind an innocent. You are craven, and you shall fall before me.
We'll see about that.
I am the instrument of justice, and I cannot fall. Death has come for you, evildoer, and I am its shroud.
Congratulations, Arthur. You passed your portion of the test. Please proceed to the next phase.
It looks like that did the trick. And just in the nick of time. Any longer and I would have shot you myself.
Please proceed to the next phase.
And the things I do for this reward, that's probably going to be very disappointing.
Antoinette had anger issues. She reminds me of a feral ghoul. Or rather, ghouls remind me of her.
If you're ready to start the test, press the button on the wall there.
Your Geiger counter seems to have lost its mind, which means we have to work quickly. We'll have to think like my sister. Destroy everything in the room and see if that stops it. Yes, my dear.
This doesn't really seem to be working. Alright.
Just curious what you're thinking.
We'll never have movies like the old days.
Congratulations, Antoinette. You passed your portion of the test. Please proceed to the next phase.
That's all the tests. Let's see how Margaret's doing. Well, I hope these ladies didn't cause you too much trouble.
They're not ladies. They're machines.
And I'm sure disabling them was as simple as pressing 300 buttons.
At least that much. Not that you'd understand anyway. Regardless, it looks like all that's left is your room. I can't wait to see what horrors await inside.
Don't worry, Margaret. I doubt it's anything I haven't shown you already. Not that you are paying attention. Let's go. What is it, my dear?
Nothing. Can we get this show on the road? This is already taking way too long.
What's this? A room with a holotape? I just had to disable 3 assaultrons before they ripped me to shreds, and this is all that's waiting for you?
It's easy to see you're a fan of pre-war relics. After all, you're traveling with one.
Congratulations, Audrey. You've passed your portion of the test. The door to the safe is open.
I suppose that's that then. Should we listen to the holotape?
Let's just go. Anything made for you, I have no interest in exposing myself to.
However, even now, as I lay sick and dying, I feel it is not too late for them and for me. Over the past decade, while seeking to prolong my life, I've discovered something far more valuable than wealth and fortune. Yet despite all its promises, I will not, cannot give this gift to my children. Not as they are now. Audrey, you've always had a gift with words. So this is your test. Make peace with your siblings and help them make peace with each other. Watch over them through good times and bad. For this is only the first step in a long and arduous journey. That if you make that journey together, I believe the 5 of you can strip immortality of its curse. Apart, you will find it a fate worse than death.
Sir, the doctors are ready.
In a minute. I guess it's time.
People aren't books, you know. You don't stop halfway to grab yourself a bite to eat.
Mysterious serum. Crime must pay the penalty, number 23. It's just a magazine, some ammo, a Schofield revolver, and a silver pocket watch. I gotta say, this is overall pretty disappointing. Although free drugs, I guess, that's something.
You've got to be kidding me. All this work for a single vial?
Let's not jump to conclusions. Father was nothing if not a predictable man.
This vial is a special serum developed by a friend of your father's. Contained inside are the secrets of immortality itself.
Immortality? Well, this is a fine joke.
You don't say. I suspected the prize was worthless, but it's even worse than that. It's ironic.
I am sorry to interrupt your joyous celebration, but I must inform you that I have now fulfilled my duties as guardian of your father's estate. Good luck to all of you.
Well, I suppose it's not a total loss. I'll take that vial, thank you very much.
Really, Margaret? It's a
That
serum that
nice.
grants you immortality.
Oh, nice.
It might as well be a state-of-the-art television for all
As
the
much
good
as a
it'll
map
do.
is useful,
It may not be worth anything to us,
Along
but it's
with
worth
no
something
direction
to
to follow.
somebody.
Get out of
Which
my
makes it
sight.
a valuable commodity all the same.
Ah, so you did more than disable those assaultrons. You reprogrammed them. There really was no need. If I wanted to kill you, Margaret, I assure you, my friend over here could.
You're all talk, you know that? It's funny. Arthur said you were street smart, that you were the one person who couldn't be swayed by sentiment. And in the end, you just gave me your half of the combination.
You'll find I've given you much, much more. That is, if you ever bother to look.
Humph.
Goodbye, sister. Don't spend it all in 1 century.
You know, I could just leave you guys in there. Just lock you up. Oh, it's already open. Well, that plan is a fill right there.
Sir?
Some people think the Commonwealth has a paranoia problem. More like a prejudice problem, if you ask me.
Excuse me.
You chose the wrong side, dearie. Audrey's always been the loser of the family. This vial is exactly what I need to fund my research.
Sir?
Hey.
I would say-
Well, that ends that. I appreciate the restraint you showed. Margaret may not have had a high opinion of me, but in time she may realize what she really gained from all this.
What did she gain, though?
What do you mean by that?
Well, when I say she gained something, I don't mean her sister's love. Let's not go that far. But I will say she gained my tolerance. Regardless, I'd say poor Margaret left the real prize behind. It's a lesson I learned in D.C. Immortality doesn't have to be dreadful, provided you spend it in good company. In fact, given your knack for pacifism, I think traveling with you will be quite the education. Hopefully, you feel the same.
Yeah, not quite. Sorry. I really don't. I already have a surplus of companions. These two ladies here in the back. Just way too many freaking people following me around. It's becoming a real issue. They like keep talking at random intervals. It's really annoying. And let me just blink
Fine.
that.
I confess I may have mistaken your helpfulness for actual camaraderie. My mistake. But I still have a bargain to fulfill after all, so I'll gladly follow you if you need me.
Right, having helped Audrey understand the value of friendship, camaraderie, and class, you have gained the social climber perk. Ooh, what does that do?
Get the hell out of my face.
We get 50% more money for selling things. That's pretty cool, I guess. I can live with that. Although I'm not really sure what happened there, because she just sort of wandered off with the serum, I guess. I should have probably shot her. Yeah, I should have probably shot her. Then again, I more or less locked him up in his vault, and they shouldn't have been able to open it. But such is life, I guess. Finding mysterious serums, working out crazy puzzles, cooking up squirrel stews and weird imperial units. But yeah, that concludes Tales from the Commonwealth. So a lot of quests in this quest mod, a lot of very interesting tales in the Commonwealth. So overall, a fantastic quest mod, I gotta say. Some very good voice acting in there, some interesting quests. Some of them are a tiny bit extravagant though. Sometimes there is a lack of information though going around as to what the fuck you're doing, but overall, very high quality, very good stuff in there. So if you haven't tried it out yourself yet, well, I encourage you to do so. If you want to see me play it, there's an entire playlist out there with me playing through the entire Tale series from the Commonwealth. So yeah, that concludes the Tales. They're finally done. It literally took forever. So I guess we're going to be moving on to some different quest mods. You know, we got Maxwell's rolled out there. Some other high quality ones with voice acting too. There's some pretty decent ones out there. So they're going to be much like what we're doing with the Tales. Except they're going to be different quest mods. But you know, we'll spice it up with some other mods in there. Some weapon mods and whatnot. It's going to be good. But that will be next time around. As for now, I'm going to be leaving and enjoying my newly acquired friendship with a ghoul lady. So, yeah, until next time.
Everything in life.